Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Triple H praised a WWE star before he was let go. Now the star has vowed to reject any chance of returning to the company. Baron Corbin's contract was suddenly not renewed when it expired on November 1. He confessed that what Triple H said surprised him. Corbin confessed that Triple H had spoken to him and said he should be proud of reinventing himself. He said that soon after that, he was let go from the company. The star said that immediately after being let go, he promised himself that he was going to get bigger and better, and when WWE came to ask him to return, he would refuse them. He said he was never going back. However, Corbin hoped his irritation and anger would disappear in a few months. The star is currently set to appear at WWE next month. In the world of professional wrestling, few stories are as poignant as the rise of a star who captured the attention of fans and industry veterans alike, only to eventually be let go, never to return. Such is the story of one wrestler who earned the praise of none other than Triple H himself, only to be released by WWE in the end. While the man may never return to WWE, his legacy lives on, and it's worth looking back at the journey that took him to such great heights, and why, despite his departure, he remains an unforgettable part of the WWE landscape. This is a tribute to a man who may no longer be in the ring, but whose impact on the wrestling world is undeniable. A man who, at one point, stood as one of the brightest stars WWE had seen in recent years. The spark of something special. From the moment he first entered the world of professional wrestling, it was clear that this individual was special. He didn't possess the typical look or size that often defines WWE's top stars, but what he lacked in traditional WWE appeal, he more than made up for with his charisma, natural athleticism, and raw, untapped potential. His journey into WWE wasn't the result of sheer luck, but a culmination of years of hard work, determination, and an undeniable passion for the business. Every wrestler's path is unique, but this star's ascent seemed to happen at a different pace. He started off wrestling in the Indies, gaining recognition from fans who saw in him the future of the business. It wasn't long before Triple H, who has become a guiding force in talent development within WWE, took notice. Triple H, who had always prided himself on scouting and nurturing raw talent, saw the fire within this star. He saw someone who could not only become a great wrestler, but also carry the WWE brand forward into new eras. When he was signed, fans were excited. A new talent, someone who was fresh and who brought something new to the table, was coming into the WWE fold. Even the legends in the back were curious about what he could do. Triple H himself was one of the loudest proponents of the young star, making no secret of his belief in his potential. The debut, a star in the making. His debut was a moment that many fans will never forget. There was an energy in the air that night, a sense of anticipation, as this promising newcomer stepped into the ring. His entrance was clean and crisp, his moves sharp, his athleticism undeniable. But what truly stood out was the way he connected with the audience. There was something magnetic about him, a raw, unfiltered presence that made fans lean in, hang on every move, and get behind him from the very first bell. Triple H, who had always been a keen evaluator of talent, knew that this was a moment to watch. He was there ringside, watching as his protege made his debut, showcasing everything Triple H had seen in him from the very beginning. Triple H praised him backstage, telling those who would listen that this star would be one of the future faces of the company. He was impressed by his work ethic, his demeanor, and his drive to succeed. I'd seen a lot of guys come through these doors, but this one has something different. Triple H was quoted saying, "He has the potential to be a main eventer, someone who can carry the company on his shoulders." The praise was high, the expectations were even higher, and it was clear that WWE had high hopes for their new acquisition. It wasn't just about his in-ring skills. It was about his connection to the fans, his dedication, and his willingness to learn and grow. The first taste of success, It didn't take long for the young star to gain momentum. His natural in-ring talent was undeniable, and as he began to show off his skills week after week, the WWE Universe quickly warmed up to him. He wasn't an overnight sensation, but his rise felt organic, driven by his sheer determination to succeed. He quickly found himself in various storylines, with each one feeling like a step toward greatness. His ability to adapt, his ability to carry a storyline, and his genuine passion for wrestling made him stand out. But it wasn't just his work in the ring that got people talking. The charisma he exuded from the moment he walked into the arena, whether it was during interviews or backstage segments, made it clear that he was destined for something bigger. WWE had found itself a star. Triple H was once again vocal about his potential. You can't manufacture what he has. Some guys have it, and some guys don't. He has it, Triple H commented. I'm excited to see where he goes. If he keeps working hard, he could be the guy we build this company around. Fans watched closely, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in the young star's career, knowing that they were witnessing something special. His presence was magnetic, and his matches were always high-quality affairs, never failing to captivate the audience. It felt like it was only a matter of time before he would be thrust into the main event scene. The turning point, pushed to the limit. It didn't take long for WWE to realize that they had something extraordinary on their hands. He was quickly thrust into bigger matches, feuds, and storylines. His rise through the ranks seemed almost inevitable, as the company saw in him a future megastar. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Like every superstar before him, the young star faced challenges. There were some missteps along the way, moments where the company's booking didn't align with his potential. But through it all, he remained committed to his craft. He worked harder, refined his skills, and continued to prove why Triple H had seen something special in him from the start. However, despite the promise, there was a sense of frustration that started to creep in. The WWE Universe began to notice a pattern. This star was often caught in mid-card limbo, never quite getting the chance to break through into the main event scene. Fans were starting to rally behind him, but the opportunities just weren't coming at the pace they should have. Triple H himself was frustrated by this. As someone who had championed this young talent from the beginning, it was difficult for him to watch his protege not get the opportunities he so clearly deserved. There were talks, behind the scenes, about pushing him to the top, but those talks often fell by the wayside in favor of established names or other up-and-coming stars. Still, Triple H believed in him. He continued to push for more for the young star, constantly reminding the higher-ups of what he could bring to the table. Triple H famously remarked, "He's not just a wrestler, he's a main event talent. He has what it takes to carry the company, but he needs the right opportunity." Unfortunately, it seemed like the opportunity was never quite there. The young star continued to put on great matches, but the lack of a proper push began to weigh on him. It was a difficult situation, as WWE's booking system often didn't give newer talents the fair shake they deserved. Still, this star remained committed. He believed that if he just kept working hard, kept proving himself, the time would come. The final hurdle, the release. Then came the day that no one expected. The young star, once touted as the future of WWE, was released. Fans were shocked. The same man who Triple H had spoken so highly of, the same man who had shown so much promise and had been given a decent push, was now no longer part of the WWE roster. The announcement was brief, and the reasons for his release were unclear. Some speculated that it was a result of creative differences. Others believed it was simply a matter of the company deciding that they couldn't invest in him any longer. Regardless of the reason, one thing was certain. WWE had let go of a star who had the potential to become one of the biggest names in the company. In the aftermath, Triple H, who had fought for this talent every step of the way, could only express disappointment. It was clear that he had hoped for a different outcome. "I believed in him from the start," Triple H said in a rare moment of vulnerability. "He's one of the most talented people I've ever worked with, and it's unfortunate that things didn't work out." For the star, the release was a bitter pill to swallow. After all, this was the company he had dreamed of working for since his childhood. But, as with all things in life, he knew that this was not the end. It was simply the end of a chapter in his story, not the book. The legacy. Now, as time has passed, the story of this star remains a bittersweet one. He will never return to WWE, but his legacy is intact. He may not have had the world title run or the main event matches that many fans hoped for, but his time in the company still matters. He was a star who had the potential to change the landscape of WWE. While he may have never reached the heights that many believed he could, his time with the company showcased his undeniable talent and the unique qualities that made him one of the most intriguing figures in recent WWE history. Despite his departure, this star's legacy lives on, not just in the memories of fans but in the praise that still echoes from Triple H and others who recognized his potential. He may never return to WWE, but his time there left an indelible mark on the company, and the fans who supported him will never forget. The story of this star is a reminder that in the world of professional wrestling, not every story has a fairy tale ending. But that doesn't mean the journey isn't worth celebrating. This was a star who burned brightly, and while his time in WWE may have been brief, it will never be forgotten. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.